Time for a good old drywall video because I have not done one of those in a while. So the whole reason I stripped all the trim off these windows here was not to fix the windows, although that's going to be a really good byproduct of what I'm doing. But the whole reason I stripped the trim off the windows was so I could finish the drywall ceiling up above it because, well, when I tossed this drywall ceiling in, all the trim was in place, and in all honesty, it was a half-assed job. And time to fix a half-assed job. So something I've been noticing is, well, it's got some movement in it. So whatever screws I put in, I'm going to call those no good. And oh boy, that thing picked up a good quarter inch or more. Now I got a screw hanging out here. Let's run that in. Where's the nail? I'm not going to depend upon that. Apparently I was a bit off. We're going to run another screw right over here. And that thing's sticking out some more. All right, come on. I got mud in there we go, it's in. So, several more of these to do just like that. Let's get the very end of each. It looks like this one. I can just go ahead and run it in a little more. Be done. Thing picked up again. And over on the other side, the same thing. Wow, just running that one in, this one's picked up quite a bit. Let's see. This chunk of ceiling here is one of the first videos I've made in, it's been a while since I worked on this. And I'm finally getting to it. To get this thing done. Well, let's pull that screw out. Ain't doing no good. This one still ain't quite in. Better. Oh boy, loose screws. Apparently, I did some half-assed work here when I threw this thing in, and it's time to fix that half-assed work. Well, anyway, as I said, I put this thing in before, while all the trim around the windows was in place. And as you can see, there are some gaps here between where the drywall is and, well, I'm just not having time to fix that. So I cut some little drywall slivers, and this is why I save all my little drywall cutoffs, is just for applications like this. Is well, this little scrap's going to fit right in here right nicely. And probably ought to run a screw or two in to hold it. Next screw, yeah, that's good. All right. Again over here. Get it centered on this thing. A tiny little sliver like this. Probably want to get it as close to the center as possible. And one more over here. And once I get this one in, that's in Wow, this screw is just way far down. Gotta run that in. Better. And I'm really not confident with that, so we're gonna run another screw right next to it. And even better, and well, I could keep going on. Lots of screw pops. I'm gonna have to run all those in, but let's keep going. So as I said, when I put this thing in, the trim was in place, and well, I really did not fit the drywall right up to where it ought to be. And once the trim is back in, what I'm doing here, you're never going to see, nobody's ever going to see this, but well, I'm just going to know it's there, and it's always going to bother me, so I'm going to go ahead and put this drywall in. Geez, I test fitted this already, and it fit once. Take a hammer and a block of wood. Honest to God, this thing was test fitted once already, and it fit. Yeah, geez, just fell right back out. Try again. Try again. If at first you don't succeed. Okay. Get this gosh darn thing in here. Drop the hammer in the loop. And there it goes. It's trying to go. Okay, unfortunately, the only thing I have to fasten this long sliver is one little joist right here. So we're going to go ahead and fasten one, because that's all I got to work with. Geez, if only I had cut this thing, the original piece, to the correct size, I wouldn't be fighting this right now. Oh boy. And along with that, we're going to run another screw right beside it and lift this thing up. And a screw right beside it. I guess the title of this video ought to be Compensating for Half-assed Work Previously Done. This screw, geez, that's a 1/4 inch there. That thing's got to go in, and the screw's just filled with mud. All the more difficult to get a bite on it. Still having trouble. Maybe one more. Let me get up here and get more leverage. There we go. All right. And finally, well, you know, I got another one to do over on the other side, but this video is just running way too long now. So the next step after doing that is, of course, I need to start doing some mud work, because that was the whole point of tearing off all this trim in the first place, was doing the mud work. So I got a pan of joint compound here, smear it on here. Oh, I'm being sloppy because I'm trying to hurry. lots of glob stuff on the floor. That's okay. We can clean that up real easy. And with this, well, this is the first step towards putting a proper finish on the ceiling. Like I was saying, this piece over here, we only got one screw holding it in. It's just kind of dangling here and dangling at the other end. And the tape, the mud and tape is what's going to hold it in place. And that'll be fine. So, getting to it. So, something that nobody is ever going to see, but I'm going to know it's there, is this little bit of ceiling work here. Got the drywall all the way to the wall instead of having a gap like I got here. And also, you saw me run some screws in. Still numerous more to run in further to get this thing secure. And have I said enough? I think probably so.